So Marty, what responses are you seeing to the Vine Project here in the United States?
Yeah, so in running workshops with Tony Payne and then hearing people talk about the book, I've heard two kind of main responses. And the first one's the most common one. And that's people are really seeing a clear connection between their convictions and their culture. And so what happens is people come to me and say something like this: Marty, the book is really helpful. And what it did is, when we got into the Vine Project, into the evaluation stage, we realized for the first time that even though we say we're all about making disciples, our ministry culture, our church culture, everything we do around here actually doesn't showcase that. It doesn't demonstrate that conviction, that belief. And so the Vine Project's been helpful to connect those things together. Sure. If we say we're about making disciples, then that should showcase, should demonstrate itself, that conviction, in how we do everything and how we run our meetings and our small groups and our programs, even to our preaching. That should clearly showcase itself there. And what it does is it says that the Vine Project, the book, the resources around it, is not just something to help flesh out the ideas from the Trellis and Vine. It's actually a wonderful resource to help convict the leadership team and even pastors themselves, really convict them of the calling to make disciples, and for that to make a strong culture of it at your local church. The second response we hear often is people will say, Marty, the book is great, it's been really helpful. Now I really got to get a team together, like the book says, and work through this over the course of a number of months. And for those people, I want to encourage them to actually do this, because so many churches, it's easy for this to kind of fall off. I think the big need it's feeling is that we've missed the mark for a while here. And I'm stereotyping a bit, but even robustly evangelical churches, good Bible-centered churches, have come to me after they've read through the Vine Project and even Trellis and Vine and said, listen, yeah, we really need to recalibrate our ministry culture back to the conviction of making disciples. We really need to do that. And so it's just been a helpful call back to our beliefs. The other thing, I think it's meeting the need in the sense that we've been infiltrated in the U.S. for the last 25, 30 years with a view of ministry that's based kind of unprincipled pragmatism, kind of just what works, let's get people in, let's get people connected. What the Vine Project does is it doesn't just give a program or a model to get people in or get people connected. It goes back to the Bible, and it says, here's what we believe, and gives you some ideas how to work out those beliefs in your own context, in your own situation, with your set of circumstances. Or to put it another way, what the Vine Project does, it does not give a church or a pastor another ministry model to follow. It goes back to the Bible, and it helps a pastor and a church think through, evaluate, and innovate from the Bible, not just casting the Bible away as a theology book, but saying that the Bible shapes everything we do from theology to practice.
So do you know of churches specifically that's using the Vine Project, and what kind of impact is that really having right now?
Yeah, I've heard lots of feedback from churches that as they start to emphasize this, as they start to work through the process, the phases of the Vine Project, so much good feedback, so much good testimonials of individually of people reading the Bible with other people at churches when they never would have done that before, and small groups changing their emphasis not just to consume but to actually think about how their small group can be a disciple-making team instead, and stories like that. So it's been really encouraging. But as the book says, it does take time. It takes intentional time and effort. And I think that's why the website is such a helpful tool. The book is good, you start there, but the website provides a valuable tool to come alongside as a companion for pastors, for ministry leaders who are running this team, because it will give them ideas, it will give them a dialogue partner, it will give them other resources and a handbook to work through. And I also say one more thing, that this is where I think the individual coaching that the website offers is so helpful. Because sometimes as a pastor, I know that I need someone perhaps on the outside, a trusted dialogue partner who I can bounce ideas off of, who I can ask questions of. And that's really helpful for me to get me thinking. Certainly not someone to come in and give me orders to do, but someone I can dialogue with. And so the Vine Growers team is so helpful for that. So I encourage lots of churches to take advantage of that.